Back on our show, it's good to have meteorologist Trevor Sonnier with us this morning as a guest. We're going to talk hurricanes. Of course, the Atlantic hurricane season began on June the 1st. Thanks for coming by and talk about hurricanes.
Yeah, no, it's very important. Everyone needs to know what to do to keep their family safe and what to expect.
Okay, we'll start with June. What can we expect in June?
Well, June is a very interesting month for Louisiana because we usually don't see a lot of activity, but activity that does form usually forms close to home. So definitely something we need to watch. We have what's called a monsoonal trough that develops to our south, Caribbean, this time of year, southern parts of the Gulf of Mexico. And June historically has been an active month for Louisiana. Remember, the strongest hurricane to ever hit Louisiana was Hurricane Audrey back in 1957, and that actually developed in the southwestern portions of the Gulf of Mexico and pretty much moved due north. And that's a track that we have to watch for this time of the year. And interestingly enough, next week, models are actually latching on to a tropical storm forming near the Yucatan, near the Gulf of Mexico, but it moves it towards Florida right now, and I don't think we'll see much from that if anything does form, but typical for June, Gulf of Mexico activity.
So the lesson to be learned is be prepared even in June.
Oh yes, June is, as I said, a month that we have to watch here in Louisiana just because of where storms usually form and how they track. We do have to pay attention.
It seems like hurricanes, when you think of hurricanes, you think of August.
Yeah, well.
Why is that?
Well, the peak season is actually August and September. That's when you have the cooler air and the warm ocean temperatures. Everything sets up just right for hurricanes to form. But they could form from June. We've had hurricanes in November and December. We actually had one in January this year.
Did we?
The A storm. So they can form any time of year, but we definitely have to pay attention in June as well.
What do we need to start doing now to get prepared?
I would say just make sure your insurance is up to par, contents coverage, all of that. Make sure your yard, your house, all that is covered. Make sure you know what to put in your safety kit, evacuation plans, which we really don't have to worry a lot about that over here, but we have a lot of people coming from the south.
What is a safety kit?
Just things that you need to put together, bottles of water, very important documents that you can't lose. Just think of that. When you're leaving your house, think, what can I not lose? And very important documents that you may have, take copies of those. Bottled water, because water may run out in a hurricane type situation. Medications, food, things like that, very important.
Kind of have a plan.
Good.
Yes, just have a plan. It's all because it's easier to plan months in advance than to plan the day of when a storm is coming in, because it's hectic. You have a lot of people traveling from the south. People are trying to get gas. Another thing, generator. Make sure your generator's up and running. And generator safety, don't ever run a generator inside of a closed area. And read your manual that comes with it. Just make sure you're using it correctly.
All right, Trevor, let's take a look at the forecast. I think we have a graphic that kind of forecasts the hurricane outlook for the year.
Anywhere from 10 to 16 storms, and that's pretty average. 12 is the average, so that's right around that area. Hurricanes 4 to 8, average is 6, and major hurricanes 1 to 4, average is about 1 or 2 in a given season. So it's pretty average season, but it only takes one storm.
We were talking about that before we came on air. Trevor did say that it just takes one.
Well, one of those famous scenarios, Hurricane Andrew. We all know about it. Back in 1992, that one didn't form until August, and that was the A storm. We didn't get many storms that season, but everyone remembers that hurricane season because of Hurricane Andrew hitting South Florida and, more importantly, Louisiana as well. So it takes one storm.
Exactly. Let's remind also people about the weather radio.
Yes, weather radio is very important. If the lights go out, battery power, you could always listen to the latest updates, because another thing that people forget about in hurricanes, you have tornado warnings as well. A lot of tornadoes can pop up inside hurricanes, so you need to have those weather radios, flash flood warnings, and of course KAOB will always bring you the latest, whether we are live on TV or if we are actually on Radio Maria. We have a partnership with them where if something happens we can't get on television, we can walk across the street and actually broadcast live through the radio. So we'll always bring you the latest here.
Well, you sure have given us a lot of good information this morning. Thank you so much, Trevor.
It's important to keep people safe.
Absolutely.
One thing I can say, Trevor, is respect Mother Nature.
Oh yeah, I've been following Mother Nature for years, and she'll humble you.
Exactly. Thanks, Trevor. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Jimmy Sawtelle joins us in just a minute. Stay with us.